last night. If you're on the phone line, stay there. If you're not on, get on 301-230-0980. We are post-game, and we are here for each other. As I've been saying, it is a Mama Evans from Good Times kind of morning. Damn, damn, damn.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Alright, so I told you
yesterday they talked about kicking our ass.
Have answers, and some of these are legitimate questions, some of these are, shall we say, rhetorical questions. But my first question is this. What the heck is going on with Jamison Crowder this season? Is something going on in his personal life? Is he more banged up than we've been made aware? I really want to understand.
Yesterday he had his rhyme with more Crowder.
Was so good over his first two seasons. He seemed poised this year to have his best season yet. I thought Jamison Crowder this season was going to have like 85, 90 receptions. I really thought that. And that seems laughable at this point. Now, he had gotten going in recent games, right? He had the huge game in the Thanksgiving night win over the Giants, 7 for 141, and his first touchdown of the season. But even in that game, he had a drop. If you remember, Crowder had a 3rd and 10 drop in the second quarter of that Thanksgiving night win over the Giants. So there's still that, a hint, a whisper of the inconsistency that plagued Crowder earlier in the year. And then comes last night. Crowder has the first half from hell last night. I mean, that's about as bad of a half as any Redskin has ever had. Guilty of a lost fumble on a punt return. Guilty of a drop that was responsible for that Kirk Cousins red zone interception. Guilty of another drop. And guilty of what should have been ruled a fumble off a reception. Had that play initially been ruled a fumble, that ruling would have been maintained, I believe, by a replay. Jamison Crowder was brutal in that first half last night. And I don't get it. I don't understand what's happened with him. He was so good his first 2 years. He was so reliable his first 2 years. He's become a drops machine this year, and last night's first half was the peak point of that. I mean, I was thinking about this last night. When's the last time a singular Redskin had a half as bad as Crowder's half last night? The only two examples I could come up with, RG3's first half in the blowout loss to Tampa Bay at FedEx Field, November of 2014, and Rex Grossman's first half in that 4-interception game, the loss to Philadelphia at FedEx, October of 2011. The Kurt Coleman picking Rex off every other play, it seemed like, in that game. Those are the only two halves I could come up with. If you got others, you let me know at Al Goldie. But, that's how bad that first half was for Crowder. What happened with Jamison Crowder? Where is the Crowder of 15 and 16 that we came to know and love these last few years? Second question I have regarding Crowder. It has to do with what Jay Gruden said after the game regarding Jamison Crowder on special teams. The fumbleitis for Jamison on punt returns this season is nothing new. And so Jay, understandably, was asked after the game, did you think about taking Crowder off punt returns? At what point do we stop seeing this? Because Jay has said multiple times this year, that's the last time Jamison will drop the ball. That's the last time Jamison will have a problem holding on to the football. It has not been. This problem has continued, and this was Jay's answer, and he got tested.
I don't have anybody for back there right now. Okay, we just don't. Mo Harris is in a concussion protocol. I don't have anybody else to return a punt.
All right, this is a legitimate question. I don't understand this. How do you not have anybody else? I get the injuries. Maurice Harris, concussion. Chris Thompson, fractured fibula. But how do you not have anybody else? Isn't the job of a staff to have depth, to have names, to have disaster scenarios in place? This guy goes down. Who's next? That guy goes down. Who's next? That guy goes down. Who's the next man up? You in your mind should be 5 or 6 deep on punt return men. So if one guy's not getting the job done, the next guy can be called upon. Now, I don't know if they don't just trust anybody else. Remember, Kendall Fuller did muff the Cats at a kickoff last night.
Maybe talking about the Cowboys
guys really worse than Jamison. I don't know. But that, to me, is not a valid excuse. It's week 13, and I get all the injuries, but I don't understand. And maybe there's a reason. I mean, Jay's not stupid, so there must be a reason. But how is it that time after time here, you're just letting Crowder continue to be back there on punt returns? And I'm sorry, the fan in me is listening to this and saying to himself, that's not a good enough answer.
I don't have anybody for back there right now.
Yesterday he was saying more Crowder.
In a concussion protocol. I don't have anybody else to return a punt.
I don't understand that. I don't get that at all. And it's costed you. It has cost you this season, and it certainly cost you last night. While we're talking Redskins special teams, I don't understand why Redskins special teams have been so bad this year. Again, you can say injuries, and yes, that's part of it, you know, because you have the Pete Robertsons of the world playing specials, like we saw in the Thanksgiving night win over the Giants. But do you know how bad Redskins special teams have been this season?
How bad have they been?
You know, nothing will ever be worse than 2013 with Keith Burns, but specials for the Redskins this season are in the same zip code. I mean, they're not that far. You go by the Football Outsiders DVOA rankings, Redskins special teams have been among the worst in the NFL this season. So few significantly positive plays made, so
This is the same
many
guy that
major
said that they're running to the
negative
playoffs
plays produced.
yesterday.
And last night was arguably
So I guess
the
it's
worst
just not our
game
fans
yet
that
this
go
season,
crazy
and it
after
wasn't
one
just that
loss.
Crowder lost fumble on the punt return. That was a big boo-boo, obviously, but there was
Thank
also
God for
much more
coffee.
when it came to Redskins specials last night. The Redskins had a holding penalty on a punt that was down at the 1, backing them up even further. Or not much, but
gonna be a
further
great
still.
day.
The kickoff that followed Dak Prescott's touchdown pass to Jason Witten. What happened, right? Mo Harris catching the ball near the sideline at the Redskins 5, not putting one foot out of bounds to get favorable field position, instead opting to return the ball, taking it a mere 13 yards. Terrible moment right there for Redskins specials. You had the Skins giving up, oh yeah, that 83-yard punt return for a touchdown to Ryan Switzer in the second quarter last night. You had the Redskins with Fuller, who just brought this up, right, muffing the catch of an early fourth quarter kickoff. I don't understand. I mean, Redskins specials had been improved these last 2 years. That was one thing Ben Kotwika had done. He got off to a
Cowboys
bad start
just
as
have
Skins
your
special
number,
teams coordinator in
Redskins.
14,
Just have
but
your
Skins
number.
specials were much better in 15, and were like middle of the pack last year. Remember, Jamison Crowder last season was number 4 in the NFL in yards per punt return. And this season, it's right back to where we were at in that Keith Burns year of 2013, or even in some of the really bad Danny
wanna hold
Smith
on till they
seasons.
get to Kirk
Redskins
Cousins.
special teams have been really bad this season. And last night was another example. I don't think they've got enough heat this year. It's been a real issue for the Redskins this season, the special team circumstance. I also don't understand this. The Redskins defense, and I brought this up earlier, why it does well early in games and then falls apart. And you might say, well, it's the injuries again, but again, how come you're able to do well for like, I don't know, 40 minutes?
Damn, if that doesn't sound familiar.
And change, and then things fall apart, because it happened at New Orleans, it happened again last night, especially with the run defense. Alfred Morris running wild as that second half went on. I don't understand Jordan Reed, okay? Jordan Reed missed a 5th straight game last night with his hamstring injury. Like, does he need to go to NIH to get this thing treated? I mean, I understand he had the hamstring and then he re-injured it. And I'm not sitting here questioning Jordan Reed's toughness. Let me make that clear. Because what that guy did 2 Thanksgivings ago at Dallas, playing through the shoulder injury, that to me brought
This is
him
hilarious to me
from his
because
toughness being
you could
questioned.
insert Dallas
But my
Cowboys
God,
last
this is a
week,
hamstring injury from hell,
and that's
apparently.
what they were
I mean,
doing.
5 straight games, nothing. And it's more problematic now because all of a sudden Vernon Davis has gone missing. Vernon Davis had 0 receptions on 1 target in the win over the Giants, and then Vernon Davis last night, 2 receptions, 2 targets, 15 yards. He's gone from the most shocking deep threat in the NFL to being a total non-factor now these last 2 games. You can live without Reed if Vernon's doing as he was doing earlier in the year, but if Vernon Davis's carriage is morphing back into a pumpkin, you got a big-time problem now at tight end. Of that, there is no doubt. And then a final thing I don't get, and I'm probably going to get killed for saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I do not get why the anti-Kirks come out to bash the quarterback after last night.
I'm a little bit more process-oriented.
I'm not here to tell you Kirk Cousins was great last night. He was not. He had a major ball security problem last night with those 2 sack strips. I'm not here to tell you the Redskins' passing game was exemplary last night. It was not. Kirk's QBR for the game ended up being hideous. 13.8, his worst since he became the Redskins starting quarterback prior to the start of the 15 season.
Against the Dallas
Obviously,
Cowboys
a good chunk of that is
defense.
on Kirk himself. But if you consider the state of the offensive line, right? You got back Trent Williams, but you lost Morgan Moses, parted off second quarter. You had Tony Bergstrom as your starting center. You had Ty Nsekhe at left guard and then right tackle, and boy, did he struggle last night. Kirk took a pounding last night, 4 sacks, 9 quarterback hits. Kirk was the victim of 4 drops last night, thanks to Crowder, Doxson, and Grant. One by Crowder, of course, responsible for the red zone interception. I take Kirk's game last night, all right? And I watched the game just like you. I listened to the game just like you. You put Kirk's performance in a vacuum. I'm not telling you he's an A+ last night, but to me, he was more good than bad last night. And I just get a kick out of, after the game, everyone using it as a referendum to just crush him and to just go back into the hackneyed contract conversation. Again, I might be on an island with this morning. I'm not going to kill Kirk today. And I'm not going to go nuts over, well, that was 1-6 against Dallas. That doesn't tell the story of Kirk against the Cowboys, okay? Because the loss was what he did 2 Thanksgivings ago at the boys, when he played his tail off, when he had one of the best games of his career. But last night with Kirk, I go back to the drive that resulted in the touchdown pass to Ryan Grant. Kirk on that drive, 3 huge plays on 3rd downs. In addition to the touchdown pass to Grant, which is a 3rd and 3, 20-yard strike. 3rd play of the drive, Kirk, tremendous job spinning, getting away from DeMarcus Lawrence on a 3rd and 5, 6-yard shotgun scramble. 3 plays after that, Kirk, terrific off-schedule play, buying time, moving to his left, backpedaling, and then throwing while falling backwards on a 3rd and 6, 33-yard shotgun completion to Jamison Crowder. You had the play in the 3rd quarter, Kirk extending the play, running through on a 3rd and 16, 24-yard shotgun completion to Ryan Grant. You had the drive that resulted in Kirk's touchdown pass to John Stockton in the 4th quarter. The Redskins going no huddle the majority of the way on the drive. Kirk 8 for 8 for 84 yards and a touchdown on that drive. There was bad,
That
yes,
drive scared
but
me.
if you just put Kirk in a vacuum last night, more good than bad. And to use last night as a springboard for the anti-Kirk to just bash this guy, I don't get that. I don't understand that. All right, more phone calls next. 301-2.
It is almost hilarious because the way he just lit into the Redskins, you could have been the Cowboys up until yesterday, because literally that's exact same stuff that we heard between, Jason Reed can't stay on the field. You got all these damn drops. We've got, people going out after the quarterback after a bad game. I mean, literally, I guess that's just the norm when teams lose. But it's so nice to be on the other side of the fence for once, because it's been a long time since we've had a victory. And now, after the Redskins talking about how great Crowder was going to be and he was going to be the Cowboy killer, they're killing the guy today. And how they were talking about this is going to be the run to the playoffs. We're going to go ahead and destroy the Cowboys. Today, they're the Cowboys with the sky is falling. But hey, such is life in the NFL. I'm still tired as shit. It's still dark outside, and I'm still on my way to work. But as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Blue Sports Report. And we're going to enjoy this day, no matter how tired we are.